Today, we're delving into something incredibly profound and, frankly, harrowing. It's an account of a moment in time known as the first selection, a moment where a person's entire existence was decided by a single, simple gesture.
So I want you to just try and imagine this scene. You're standing under these harsh, blinding lights. It's cold. The air is thick with fear and just total confusion. This isn't just some line you're waiting in. You're standing on the edge of a cliff.
And at the very heart of this whole scene is the selection line. It's a simple, horrifying procession of people. Prisoners who've had everything taken from them are made to walk one by one in front of a single SS officer. And this one man, he alone decides if they live or die. The way this is described is just devastating. It's not a line, it's a corridor. And on one side of that corridor, there's a tiny sliver of hope for life through work. But on the other side is just oblivion, a final path you can never come back from. So the entire process, the whole weight of a person's life, their past, their future, their family, it all hangs on one single, simple action. It's an act of such casual, terrifying power that it's almost impossible to wrap your head around. And here it is, laid out in the starkest terms imaginable. A hand moves to the left, you get a chance to survive through work. The hand moves to the right, and it's the gas chamber. An entire life, your loves, your memories, your hopes, all of it decided by which way a stranger's hand happens to move. And what's so chilling is just how casual it all is. A mere tilt of the head. It's not some grand judgment. It's not a carefully considered decision. It's just a whim, a flicker of movement from one person who holds absolute godlike power over hundreds of others. And as these fates are decided, in an instant, the human cost just explodes into view. In that split second of judgment, you see mothers instinctively pulling their infants closer, a desperate final act of protection against the absolute unthinkable. Families are just ripped apart in a heartbeat. A single gesture sends a wife one way, a husband the other, and you hear husbands screaming across these newly formed lines, trying to shout across a gap that has just become an infinite, uncrossable canyon. And then you see the despair of the elderly, people who have lived full lives only to be faced with this final humiliation. There's no one to appeal to, nothing to argue. There is only the hard reality of that line. And so they just fall to their knees in complete and utter helplessness. Okay, so we've seen the chaos on the outside, but now the focus shifts inward to the horror that's dawning inside the minds of the people forced to witness this. This is the moment of terrible realization, when the true nature of their reality crashes down on them. And this feeling, it actually has a name: existential terror. And it's not just the fear of dying, it's the unique horror of realizing that your life can be extinguished, not because of morality, not because of justice, but for no reason at all, simply on the arbitrary whim of a total stranger. That understanding, that truth, it's a weight that is just too heavy for the human mind to carry. You know, all the systems we use to make sense of our world, fairness, reason, justice, they all just evaporate in that moment. And under that pressure, we're told the human mind, it just breaks. And this brings us to the ultimate soul-crushing conclusion of it all. Fate is arbitrary. Survival is completely random. And so we're left with this final, haunting question. When morality and justice are gone, when reason no longer applies, and when your very survival is just a roll of the dice, what remains of a person? What's left of humanity when life itself becomes random?